All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people just like you there and just like me here. So, the band Petra is back after like a 20-year hiatus. That's pretty cool. Now, they have a new song out. It's called Deliver Us. I'm not going to play the song, unfortunately. I will link to the song if I remember to put the link in the description of this video. Sometimes I forget. So the song again is called Deliver Us. It's from their forthcoming album entitled Hope. So a whole album of new stuff from this band who I thought had said farewell and had retired, but they're back. Now, some probably wonder, okay, how come they quit to begin with? Well, trends within the Christian music industry, ageism, the fact that guitar-driven rock bands are not really a thing in today's Christian music, and that's discouraging. Yes, there are guitars in Christian music, but typically not double guitar driving stuff that is almost on the verge of being like hair metal from the 80s kind of sounding stuff. And that's really what Petra is known for. In fact, when you go listen to this song, you'll hear those influences again. And John Schlitt, who sounds exactly the same. I mean, the guy is a beast. He's got some great pipes, and it's amazing what he's still able to do because he just sounds like he did 20 or 30 years ago. But yeah, I mean, if Christian radio doesn't have a place for this song, it just shows you how biased Christian radio is. And my guess is they're not going to play the new Petra song. They're not. I mean, it doesn't fit with what they're doing. If they did play it, I guarantee you people would email or call and say, hey, you guys have to play that more. And the song is very timely. In fact, there's an article on Girder Music. The timing of this release could not be more significant in a moment when the world feels fractured, shaken by tragedy, and desperate for truth. Petra steps forward once again with a message rooted in scripture and eternal promise. Deliver Us draws inspiration from Ephesians 6:12 and 13, reminding believers that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of darkness. It's a battle cry, a prayer, and a rallying anthem for today. As the guitars roar and John Schlitt's unmistakable voice pierces through, the song drives home the reality that we are in a fight for truth, justice, and faith. It's not just another Petra single. It's a declaration that the band still has fire in their bones and purpose in their calling. They go on to say, we are living in a critical moment in history. Recent events, including the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a stark reminder of our nation's division and unrest, show us just how deeply our culture is struggling. You know, reading the words assassination of Charlie Kirk still don't make sense to me. They just don't. I mean, Charlie Kirk, he was 31 years old. He was this young, vibrant father, and there's no reason that he shouldn't still be here. Okay? I guess the Lord needed him, but we needed him too. I mean, we need people who can argue and do it in a kind and compassionate and understanding way. And that's what Charlie was all about. So when I read those words, it just still doesn't make sense to me. In the midst of chaos and fear, Petra's message cuts through with hope. Not a shallow optimism, but a fierce reliance on God's deliverance and the reminder that he is still in control. For longtime fans, this release is more than nostalgia. It's proof that Petra's ministry is still alive and desperately needed. For a new generation, Deliver Us is a doorway into discovering why Petra has been one of the most influential Christian bands of all time. The question is, folks, will these big radio conglomerates, K-Love, Air One, and those types of stations, will they play this song? And why won't they play this song? What's their rationale? Typically, I don't tell people to email or to call radio stations, but I guarantee you, if this song was put on these radio stations, it would go to number one because it's the kind of song we need on the radio right now. And it's a sound that is pretty much absent from the radio. Whereas in the old days, I've said this before about Christian radio, and by the way, this goes back to my days listening to Top 40 in the 1980s. You had everything. You had, R&B and country and jazzy stuff and all these different things right next to one another. You had hard rock stuff. It was the song that made the difference. And in this case, this song would make a huge difference if people were allowed to hear it. And the lyrics are very important and timely. And this is just a great band. I mean, John Schlitt, just an amazing singer. I just don't know. He's a genetic mutant, obviously. Still sounds like John Schlitt. He's got to be in his 70s at this point, and he just sounds great. And I'm not sure who's in the band with him, if this is a lineup that they departed with when they left the scene like 20 years ago. But they were still making great music up until the point where they left. But I think what was happening is with each album, declining radio airplay because image and style and sound, a different sound became fashionable. I mean, it was Christian alternative for a little while, and Petra is really a straight up rock band. So they didn't fit into that. Maybe people are ready to hear this again. I don't know. I'm thinking ageism might also play a role in this. But yeah, if you want to hear the song, I'll link to it. I can't play it. I don't want to get copyright strikes. It would be cool to just sit and listen to a song and tell people what I think of it. But you should just go listen to it for yourself and don't take my word for it. Put on some headphones. You don't have to have some guy babbling over the music too, which I'm not really a big fan of. If the band releases a new song, I just go and listen to it. I don't listen to it with some guy telling me that it's good, right? I mean, I'd rather just listen to the song. No offense to anybody who's doing this, because people do it on YouTube all the time, and sometimes it's pretty informative. People are all about getting takes from people, and my takes are no better than anyone else's takes. All I know is this is an important song at an important moment in our country and in our world, and I bet you this little press release here that I read to you, that was prior to they had the shooting down in Texas there at the ICE facility, and violence is just rampant. And there are a bunch of people out there that are saying it's okay because this is the only way people will stop saying things like Charlie Kirk. You wanted him to stop talking. Well, he's not talking anymore, which is unbelievably sad. And there are a group of people that seem to be celebrating that rather than mourning the fact that we're at a point where we no longer can have conversations about important issues and debate things. This has been a country about debate, but I have a feeling we are becoming a country that is no longer interested in debate. A group of people, anyway, aren't interested in it. They just want to get their way, and they'll do it any way they can. This press release was very smart, though, to talk about Ephesians 6, 12, and 13. I mean, that's kind of like go-to scripture when you see evil in the world. You've got to remember that evil presents itself in different ways. So this is what they say about their song. In a world that is growing darker, Jesus still offers hope. And the album itself is called Hope. And the new single, again, called Deliver Us. All right. So I will link to the single. I promise. And if you're interested in supporting this channel, you like the content, please consider Patreon, which is a good way to support. That's a monthly thing. You can do like a couple of bucks a month. That's it. Buy me a coffee is kind of like a one-time thing, or you could do it repeatedly if you want to. Also, YouTube memberships and buy me a coffee. Those are ways to help the channel. Oh, did I already say? I did. PJ Rock Super Chats. That's the other thing. PJ is one of my big supporters and super chatters. He's also a patron, so he does a lot to help me, and I appreciate him because I need that encouragement and support. It keeps me going. All right, people. New Petra. It's killer, man. Got to go listen to Deliver Us. It might be very inspiring at this stage to have some music that you can kind of celebrate and take some cues from, and also some encouragement from a great band and John Schlitt, just a super class act.